Okay guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about 1 point perspective and 2 point perspective. So this is quite a technical way of drawing, but it's good to get the basics right before you give up your ruler. But to start with, I think it's a good idea to have a ruler. So let's start with 1 point perspective. For 1 point perspective, the first thing you start off with is your horizon line. Our horizon line is a straight line that is at your eye level. So for example, if this was the sky and this is the sea, this is the horizon line. This is where my eye would be looking at the horizon. So I'm just going to put my horizon line here on this page. You could also put it anywhere. You could put it down here, you could put it in the middle, but I'm going to start out by putting it just up towards the top. So with 1 point perspective, that's what you need really, is just 1 point. So I'm just going to put a little mark here for a point. It could be anywhere along this line, but I'd recommend you not putting it too close to the edges because it just makes everything a bit tight. It's good to have it closer to the centre or just off centre. So that's my 1 point. So just to show you again, with 1 point perspective, as I said, there's your horizon line, there's your eye level. It's all, and the point that you put on it is called the vanishing point. That's where all the lines converge, like if it was a railroad track, for example, like this. All the lines are converging on this point in the distance, and that's called your vanishing point because that's where all the lines meet and vanish. Okay, so this is a good example of the use of 1 point perspective. This is a nice way to be able to draw the railroad tracks realistically. Okay, you could also use 1 point perspective for drawing rooms. I'll show you this in a minute. So when we draw our boxes, if the box is below our horizon line, it means we'll be able to see the top of the box because we're looking down on it. Okay, because remember, this is our eye level up here, so if we're looking down on it, we'll be able to see the top of the box. If the box is on the horizon line, we can't really see the top or the bottom, so we can just see the side and the front. But if the box is above our eye level or the horizon line, we can see the bottom of the box, but not the top this time. It's the bottom of the box that we can see. Okay, so just to show you there. Right, so let's get started. So what you want to do is get your ruler. One of these is quite handy as well because it gives you right angles, but if you don't have one, don't worry, okay? You can just judge the angles. So I'm just going to draw a little box below my horizon line or my eye level. So I'm just going to draw a little box here. I'm going to make sure that it's lined up so that the verticals are definitely straight and the horizontals are straight. Okay, so these are level. They're not crooked. They're not like this. And these are level. They're not like this. That's important with 1 point perspective. They have to be dead straight. Okay, so I'll just get rid of these. And now what you're going to do is you're going to line up a corner of your box to your point here. Okay, and you draw a line. Draw it lightly. Now I might mind just slightly off there, so I'm just going to draw it again. Draw lightly because you don't want it to be too difficult to rub out afterwards if you want to rub it out. So now I'm going to go to my other corner of the box and line it up with my vanishing point. Draw another line. Then I'll switch over to this so you can see. So then I'm lining up to my vanishing point in this corner. And the last one, my corner to my vanishing point. Okay, and now what you'll do is you'll decide how deep you want your box to be. It can be any depth at all, but I'm going to make it about this deep. The main thing is that the line that you draw on the top is straight and is level with this line here. So I'm just going to draw a line here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm drawing a line between the line that came from the corner in the top and the line that came from the other corner in the other top. So that's that one. And then I'm going to make sure that this line here is straight, and I'm just going to bring this back and draw a straight line here. Okay, so that would be your box, but it's good practice when you're learning how to do this to lightly put in the back of the box. So I'm just going to do a little dashed line, and to do that all I'm doing is making sure that my ruler is dead straight. I'm going to the bottom corner and I'm joining up from the bottom corner to the line here, and then making sure this is dead straight and joining up the last two corners. Okay, so as you can see, this is my vanishing point. This is my horizon line. And this is my object here. Okay, so as you can see now the box looks 3D. Okay, so that's below the horizon line, so I can see the top of the box here. So just shade that in there now. Okay, so what if it was on the horizon line? So let's draw just a little box on the horizon line. Doesn't matter what size it is, you can make up your own size. I'm just going to do it on that size. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it over. We'll come over this side maybe, just give it a bit of space. And make sure that these are straight and level. No, that's crooked, you see that? I made that crooked, so I just have to make sure that that's straight. You can measure these, of course, but sometimes it's good to try to judge it by eye, but I think it's always a good idea when you're starting off to measure, just to be on the safe side. Yeah, that looks about right. So now, same principle again. I'll get my four corners and bring them to the vanishing point. Okay, and now I decide how wide I want my box to be. Okay, think about there. Now, so now what I want to do is to judge the back of the box. So making sure that it's a straight line, I join up this edge until it meets this line here, this line that's going this way, and then making sure it's dead straight. I draw till it meets this line here, and now I join these two lines up. Now, so now, just to show you, this is the side of the box, okay, and this is the front of the box. And this looks like a 3D object. Now there is restrictions to 1 point perspective. It's sometimes, in some instances, it's better to use 2 point perspective. But 1 point perspective is good if you're looking straight at something. So if our box, the front of the box is straight at you, the 1 point perspective can be quite handy. So we'll learn 1 point perspective first, and then we'll look at 2 point perspective. So now let's say I'm going to do a little box up here. Making sure my lines are straight. And what I do, like before, I go to the four corners and I join up my box. Then I decide how wide I want my box to be, so making sure that this line is straight. So remember, your verticals are dead straight in 1 point perspective, as are your horizontals, are always dead straight in 1 point perspective. This will change when we come to 2 point perspective, but for now keep the verticals and the horizontals dead straight. So now, this is the side of the box, this is the front of the box, and now because it's above our horizon line, we're looking at the bottom of the box, so this is the bottom of the box. So you have 3D objects using 1 point perspective. Okay, so practice that and we'll move on to 2 point perspective then.